change the aperture on the Alexa.
Wait, what? Don't you have the You don't have the.
I was on a Movi.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so the client wanted just like really slow, low, high push-ins of like Regent Street, Piccadilly Circus. Actually, I can. Oh, I think I'm not allowed to say. You recorded. You are recording this. Well, it's basically a music video for a famous composer, which we all know, all filmmakers know.
Okay.
And if you say his surname twice, it's similar to a reggae song. Well, you know,
mate. I don't know if I'm actually getting this though.
Oh, okay.
But we're live now, so you can't do it though, right?
Okay, no, I can't really say who it is because I think that who hired me got he signed an NDA, so I think I can't I don't want to let it out, the bag. But if I tell you, can you then edit it out or not?
Yeah.
Or is it part of like
I'd rather not be cutting stuff out. But,
nah, you know what? It's cool. I'll keep it. But it was it's been 7 weeks, not working due to this whole situation. And I got a call from a DP saying, "Oh, I got a job, music video for this job. It's a worldwide music video, and we're in the UK team, and they want some Movi stuff. So can you do it?" And I was like, "Yes." And then it was actually quite nice. Me and my girlfriend went over to the city of London late at night, just get some shots, no permits, ghetto shooting. Jump out, double yellows, get the shot. And there was no park, there's no, what do you call it? There's parking, those ticket guys.
Yeah.
It was really sad because there was so many homeless.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Dude, they all kept, they saw the camera and they were like, we're hungry, man. We're really hungry. No one's helping us. And I was like, oh, it was really sad.
It's horrible.
But yeah, if you want, is it? Oh wow, it's time. I just realised I've been waffling on.
Nah, it's cool. It's letting you get warm. And
is there anywhere we can do like a Q&A? Like, can people throw in questions? How can we?
Yeah, because so you and I.
Is there a YouTube link I could like?
Yes.
Actually, if I just refresh your YouTube account, I should be able to see us live now.
Yeah, it's live, but there's a delay, so
that's cool. You
want to keep it.
That's cool.
Keep it muted for sure, because
I've muted it.
Shit out of you.
Should I do it?
There is a chat box on the side,
all right.
But I don't know. There's 5 people watching at the moment.
We're live.
We are.
There we go.
We're live. So yeah, maybe people will slowly start to turn up over the next, 10 minutes or so. So we can
hopefully
do a little Q&A.
I'm just doing a little Insta just to say, check your questions. What's the link? Oh, I wish you could do live links on Instagram. Check your questions.
I WhatsApped it to you. Maybe I can put it in. I'll put it in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, do it.
It's in the YouTube chat, and then so it will always be at the top. I wonder if I can pin it. I might be able to. Oh shit, it's at the top.
No worries. We can begin. Go for it.
All right. Let me just get. I've got so many fucking things open at the moment. I got 2 monitors. I got Audition. I got Adobe Audition recording just the audio.
Oh wow.
I got Zoom doing this chat.
You got OBS doing the live.
No.
How are you linking it?
I'm not going through OBS. Zoom. I have the paid Zoom account, so it just
shares it straight into. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The only thing is that bogus ass Zoom watermark. So, and you can't really get rid of that. I can put my own logo over it, but that's about it. But it's cool. I mean, this is a lot easier. That the one I did with Rick was a nightmare, man, trying to get that set up. This is a lot more smooth.
This is quite cool.
Yeah, man. I just gotta get rid of these. I can see too many.
I'm actually just gonna say on Facebook as well.
Yeah, maybe I should do this. Only whack thing is, compared to when we did it strictly in Zoom with Rick's, is I could see.
Yeah, all the people chatting. That was cool.
Yeah, that was.
I guess the drawback, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see how it goes.
It's all good.
Yeah, man.
At least we've got control over what we want to talk about now, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll see, and then I guess this because I'm doing another one on Thursday.
Yeah.
So then I'll figure out which way to do it next time. But I just like the accessibility of YouTube. Like anyone can just go on. You don't have to sign up or anything. You're just there.
That's it. All right, let me just send this to good old Zaki boy.
Yeah, man. Let me know when you're good to go.
I'm good to go, man. Ask away. You're in my head, so like.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you ask away, Archum.
All right. Sorry, I just got to do one. So for the people that are watching, apologies for my clumsiness in organizing this and trying to actually find my way around this whole live thing. I'm hoping I can just not talk and let Steph carry the whole episode. But yeah, everyone who is listening, all 4 of you right now, thank you for joining us. Pretty hyped. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everyone's staying safe. This is what episode is this? I think I fucked it up. It says episode 12. This is actually episode 11. Fucked it. Of the Better Cinematographer podcast, and I feel like a radio presenter on this one now, actually. But on this episode, we got Stephan Knight, the good homie. Steph, you are.
Hello.
I feel like you're a little bit. Well, your Insta says cinematographer and Movi operator.
I'm a Movi operator.
Yeah, but you DP. You
I DOP, but like my trait would be I'm a Movi operator. I'm a like gimbal operator. I think like, you know, there was a time in the industry where the whole gimbal world happened, and loads of DPs and camera operators jumped into that world, and they bought it. You know, they started shooting with it, even though they thought straight away they'll be able to make amazing content with it and create some amazing shots. And cameras got heavier, lenses got heavier, and anamorphic, full frame, everything got bigger. And then they were like, just like Steadicam, people were like, DPs and camera operators were like, oh, this is like its own job in itself. So I'm just going to let someone deal with that responsibility, and I'm going to focus on operating normally and lighting. And I think I really enjoyed when I jumped into like the gimbal world. When my first ever gimbal was the Ronin M, using that with the A7S. And there was a tiny gimbal, and back then there was an old Ronin and the Movi M5 or M10, but I think I never invested in those because it was too expensive. Seeing the results of that camera moving in space, just floating, especially when at the time when I bought it, I was filming in I was working for Defected Records in a record label, and I was in clubs, in large clubs with over 10,000 people, and still be able to put the Ronin in inverted mode and just like glide through all the crowd and seeing all these amazing shots with the CO2 going out. That kind of made me so happy and so gassed basically. So I was like, I want to just keep on going with this gimbal world. I was really enjoying it, and then I bought the Ronin 1. Then my career developed, and I left Defected and I went into working for branded content, commercials, things like that. And people, DP directors, clients were pigeonholing me, saying, you're a gimbal operator, which I didn't mind at all. I didn't mind because that was my expertise, which is cool. But I think in the past year and a bit, I've been trying to slow down, and I think I was getting bored of shooting on the gimbal all the time. I was just getting a bit, there was an era, I think a year or 2 ago, it was just Steadicam. Everything was Steadicam. I mean, obviously Steadicam's been going on for a long time, but in terms of in our world, there was a lot of Steady, not a lot of gimbal, a lot of remote head stuff, and I didn't dive into that world. But the great thing I can say about my job is that because that is my specific niche and my specific role. For example, yesterday's job, I got it because I've got the gimbal, I've got all the bits and bobs, I can just get my kit out and I can do the job. I didn't even meet the client, didn't meet the DP, didn't meet anyone. They just trusted me that they know I can get the job done because a word of mouth, Stephan is a gimbal operator. But only now I'm really enjoying, in the past year and a bit, I've been slowing down on the gimbal, the gimbaling thing. And I've been focusing more, shooting handheld, like just getting it on your shoulders. I think when I got the Alexa, that's when it all kind of, I was like, I get it now. This actually feels so nice. Like, oh my God, I can actually get into the action. and I was actually really scared about lighting a lot. I was like, it was just a whole nother world. I was just, oh my God, I just find it very daunting. And then now, only now, I say now, like in the past year again, I'm just slowly really, really enjoying it. And it's a long process. I keep, I'm the type of people that I'm like, well, I want everything now. And I'm like, I want to be not the best, but I want to be good at this now. And then, I just looked at my Instagram and I was like, cool. So I've been in the industry, or I've had a camera in my hand for 7 years. I was like, and in the time of like this whole Corona thing, I've been listening to so many Instagram lives, podcasts, so many, famous cinematographers, directors, and they're like, I've been in the game for 30 years. I'm like, he's been in the game in my lifetime. Yeah. And like that made me realize, like, slow down, take each day as it comes, learn each day, little, bit by bit. This is why me and my girlfriend at the moment, as I'm not shooting anything, we're shooting some stills, we're doing some client work at home. We've got like a little makeshift studio. I'm not sure if you can see. There we go, a little makeshift studio over there. And I'm enjoying shooting stills as well, doing what are we doing? The tequila, a mezcal bottle over there, bottle of mezcal. So I'm still practicing, my lighting and yeah, the reason why I wrote cinematographer, you know what? I don't know. I think it's, what's that?
I mean, it wasn't a diss or anything.
A diss? No, I hear you. Like,
we've had this conversation in the past. It's like you kind of, I don't know.
I don't want everyone
really. You want to, because when you like something that much, and there's so many ways you can take it, it's hard to make a decision.
Yeah,
so just figuring out how to intro you.
Yeah, just say gimbal operator, camera extraordinaire now. Yes, cameraman. I'm a cameraman. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a one-man band. I started as a one-man band, but I'm a Movi operator. Okay. Yeah, that's me.
All right, I think you can say cinematographer, man.
Yeah.
I've seen your stuff. Like,
yeah.
So, but you're saying essentially that the Movi op stuff is kind of what carries you at the moment.
Yeah, that's been my my bread and butter. That's got me into, allowed me to open up relationships with directors and producers, which then they see my skill in that world, and then I then get to have a conversation with them and say to them, they come up to me, they're like, do you by any chance shoot handheld as well? Like I'm like, yes, I can put it on sticks if you want me to. Like, they think that's the only thing I do, which is interesting, right? Because I think you wouldn't ask a Steadicam operator to go handheld. I think that's what I felt a bit like, come on now, of course. But they're like, no, like, there's hierarchy, there's rules, there's roles in the industry. So I think I kind of understand that why they said that. But sorry, I forgot what your question was. If there was a question.
Always just like just asking if well, I was just saying that you do DP and you can DP, but
yeah, I do enjoy it. Yeah,
the Movi op is kind of the, what do you call it?
Bread and butter.
Your bread and butter. And
yeah.
Do you get how often are you brought onto a job as a Movi operator with a DP? So there's a DP there, and you're strictly Movi operator.
That's happened. That's happened. For music videos, I've done low budget music videos where it'll be director, DP, and they want to light it, and then I just come in and do and it's all a Movi. Of course it is. But then no slider. Oh, there's a shot we're going to do on sticks. Oh, can you just stand there? Definitely, I can do that. Can you? The track's 3 minutes. Can you move left to right, and then the whole time just creep? Sure thing. No, you're not supposed to at all. I think they've abused the whole gimbal. Well, the gimbal world gets abused a lot. They think because like I've got a smile on my face and I can run back and forth, and I've got the support system that all of a sudden that weight, those like 12, 15 kilos that I'm wearing, just goes nowhere. But it doesn't. It does go in my lower back. It's just being moved basically, but it does. So to answer your question, yes, I have been. Let me see. I'm looking at my Instagram now. If there's any. There's been quite a lot of shoots, a lot of live sessions where what's his name, Roger Virdi. He's a amazing music video director, but he's also amazing with his lights, and he's lit everything because he loves it, and he's just got me as a Movi operator, and I just don't, shot it all basically.
So the director's lighting it.
Well, I've worked with many directors that are DPs. Yeah, all super tight, tight budget. But I've had directors that light it. I've had me lighting it and me shooting it, with a spark. Mm-hmm. I've had just me and director and a gaffer. That video we did for Juice WRLD, I was technically the DP, but I was the Movi operator. And then I was with Ben Law, and we were lit together. So I guess that was me lighting, but the director also had his input. Okay.
So a whole mix.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. I'm just desperately trying to keep this on track. One, so I don't run over time, and two, so I don't have a shitload of it.
How long have we got? But is it an hour? Or is it?
I try and keep them to an hour. So I figured maybe 20 to 8 we could start doing the Q&A depending on how many people are here.
Is there even many people? There's 3.
There's 6 people at the moment.
Yeah. No questions.
It's weird. I don't know why. I mean, the one with Rick we had.
Yeah, but Rick, you had all the people on the we had 40 people on the Zoom.
Zoom, yeah.
We had look, everyone's asking for the link, by the way. So
oh shoot.
That's the thing. There's no way for them to click on it like a live link.
I tell you what, apologies for this faff for the people that are watching right now. I'm gonna put a link, right? I'm gonna WhatsApp a link to, so you got that link though, right, Steph?
Yeah, I've got the link.
Okay, so that I'm gonna put in my Instagram bio real quick. Then
I think I'll do the same anyway.
Then I can just do link it, because the link that I put in my bio, I fucked that up.
Okay, so if I just do boom, 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 edit, bam, 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 and then just put, okay, cool, boom. Oh, sorry guys for the faff.
Yeah, my bad. That is literally it's my fault. Sorry. I'm just a lowly DP who's been playing too much Call of Duty for the last 2 months and has forgotten how to do anything.
What do you call this? Live podcast now. Yeah. Oh God. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. So if I just say, do another one. Okay, we're live.
Oh,
there we go.
Is that? I think. So
we're live.
What's up, Brad?
Is that who we went to? It was at Cameron Marsh.
I'm not sure. No, I don't think I've met this Brad. I chatted to him on Instagram quite a bit, but he's put. Do you see that in the chat box? That emoji.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I've never seen that before. It says elbow cough. It's basically a dab, right?
It's basically a dab. Okay, I've done what I can. It's all good.
Cool.
Let's crack on. I'm sure people are boring.
Yeah, it's fucking camera nerds. I'm gonna just spam it on my Facebook right now. Oh, you did it already. Shit, it's just the thumbnail is just me.
Like, it's just your face like burp.
Pink. It's supposed to have that nifty little thumbnail that I made, but fuck knows what's happened to that. All right, fuck it.
Okay.
So let's backpedal a little bit.
Definitely.
And just start and try and keep in the tradition of all the other episodes and just
go for it.
Start with how you got into film.
How I got into film. Okay, so how old am I now? I'm 30. Let's rewind to 2000 and let's see, 12. No, even more than that. Let's see, 2010 when I was in school. So I studied media studies as a GCSE alongside with all the other courses. Really enjoyed it. I found it a lot of fun, just creating small little movies. I know people, sorry, I was going to stop there. A lot of people say to me, how did you come into the industry? Did you start to be as a, everyone has a story of like, oh, my great granddad got me this camera and I found this in the basement or whatever. Like, I'm afraid that isn't my story. Like, I just came into this, I came in the scene completely sideways. I didn't start as a trainee camera operator AC. I started filming clubs, started filming Indian weddings, corporate videos, working at Apple. I worked at Apple and I was making in-store launches, like when the first iPad ever came out. I was actually a member of staff, but they knew I was studying media and they were like, oh, can you make a little highlight video of the members of staff setting up the store and all the queue, like hundreds of people queuing and like doing the countdown, things like that. I made a little video which got sent internally. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, my story is a bit of a different one to others. So just wanted to put that out there. And I'm really proud of my story because like, it's just, yeah, it's a different one.
Yeah.
So I studied, so I'm just going to fast forward to my degree. So I studied media production, BSc, Bachelor of Science in Leicester in the Midlands of the UK. And that degree was split into different modules: radio production, motion graphics, like basically TV, and a theory, which I didn't do. So I did that for 3 years. One of those years, they sent us to a BBC training center where every member of staff, every student had like a different role, and we had to put together a we had to put together a TV quiz show. So there was all these old school TVs. I bet there was someone in Video Village. I think I was like the stage manager. It was a lot of fun. But after my degree, actually for my dissertation, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do, and I did 2 projects. What did I shoot? I shot a documentary about Ibiza. And the reason I chose Ibiza is because I'm also half Spanish. My mother's Spanish, my dad's Jamaican. And I was raised, before living in Leicester, I lived in Ibiza for 5 years. And before that, I lived in Madrid. So, Ibiza, the island, is a small Balearic Spanish island, super close to my heart. And everyone thinks of Ibiza as the party island. It's only a party island, and it's not. It's a hedonistic island. It's got so much beauty. And as my degree, I flew over that. I thought, why not? Let's fly to Ibiza and shoot like a little documentary piece to show the audience that Ibiza isn't about that, and show the beautiful side of the island. And I shot that with the Canon 7D. The Canon 7D. So as I said earlier to Carter, whilst I was at university, I stayed at home, so I didn't go to student accommodation, and I used all my student loans and bursaries to buy the camera. So I had that as an advantage at a 50, was it a nifty 50? And nifty 50. And that big ass Rode NTG was just like that big.
Shotgun
big ass shotgun mic. Yeah, it just wobbled on top of the and in terms of learning how to use the camera, I watched tutorial videos by the one and only Philip Bloom. Shout out to Mr. Bloomy. So if it wasn't for Mr. Bloomy, I wouldn't be here. I got a lot of
time for him, man.
I do, man. Sorry, I kind of went back and forth.
You got distracted by.
I got distracted. So during my degree, I'll fast forward. So I did my degree, amazing 3 years. But whilst I was studying media production, I also I got a job at Apple as a specialist, which was just a salesman. I also did workshops. I would teach customers how to use the products. And like I said, I also shot a few in-store videos. But as well as doing that, I also used to film university like club nights. Not club nights, parties. So all the uni students would either do like freshers. I would film those, and there was so many there was several clubs and bars around Leicester. There's only like about 5. But I would probably do all the videos for all those 5s. And that was all with a Canon, with a 7D. And then my friend Jamie, he was like my business partner at the time, he had these 5D Mark II and they fisheye, 50mm fisheye. And we just, shoot handheld with a little LED light, which I think on the first video I did for a client, he paid me £50. I used that £50 to buy the light. Mm-hmm. The first ever video was for free. Then to make I needed to do a free video so then people could see my work, and then from there, it just kind of all like went up and up and like snowballed essentially. Got the little light, I got the little shoulder rig. And then after graduating, I kind of plateaued a little bit. I was working at Apple for like 2 years after graduating, and I got into the wedding scene, the Indian wedding scene, which was
talk about that a little bit, because I've heard like horror stories about Indian weddings.
I didn't enjoy it at all. Like I was so young. I was like 20. Well, how old was I? I was like, I think I was 20. I was 21, and all I wanted, I guess, was because I was working part-time / full-time at Apple. I just moved out to a flat, and I just wanted extra money, I guess. And like my work colleague who would do the photography for these weddings, and then would advertise me to do the video side. I would never I wouldn't submit any contracts or even say like, talk about the length of the video. I would just turn up with him with like 3 cameras on sticks, and then and one, 2 on sticks to the ceremony, and like 1 handheld roaming around. And remember that on the Canon, you can only shoot for a certain time, like time limits. So it was like 24 minutes. So every 24 minutes, I had to put the time on my phone, run to that camera across like all the people there, and be like, sorry, press record. And then the clients would be like, well, the groom would, actually, no, I wouldn't even speak to the groom. It would be their parents. They'll be like, we want everything filmed. We want the eating, every performance, like everything. And we'd have hours and hours and hours of content, and we didn't log it in any way. It's like, it was a shambles. It was an absolute shambles. And then we had to then edit it. And they'd want hour-long deliveries. And we're like, no, like we want to just do like a 2-minute highlight. They're like, 2 minutes? No, it's like, why 2 minutes? And mate, I made that mistake. Like, I think I was so young. I was just, I just sucked it up and I just did the editing. And it was pretty bad. But I personally, I take my hat off to those who do who still love and do weddings, and they like do it to this day, because they've got a system in place. I follow quite a few wedding filmmakers actually, and they make some amazing content. And it's funny enough, the one wedding that I am so proud of, I shot it on my own, and it was for my business partner at the time, his best friend, and I did it for free because he was just like, just for free, some good friend, and that was a white wedding. I don't want to say it was racist, but it was a white wedding. But I did like a little highlight. I just did a 2-minute highlight. Then when there's poppy fields, and it was beautiful. I'll be able to send you the link to that one actually, if you want to put that in the show notes.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I think the track was perfect. And but then the great thing about me working in the wedding scene is that I learned how to become a one-man band, learn about audio, learn about lights. Oh,
I've disappeared.
You're back.
Disappeared.
You're back.
I switched something out, hoping I could get rid of that time code, but it didn't.
Oh, don't.
Sorry.
Sorry, mate. You lost my track of thought now.
Sorry, I fucked it. My bad.
So good. No, so what I was saying is that having shot weddings for like, I think I did in the space of 1 year, I did about 8 to 10 weddings, and I learned how to light, how to manage, how to work with audio, how to work with different codecs, how to edit. I've been editing since I was at uni. Used Final Cut 7, Avid first, and Final Cut 7, then moved over to Adobe. It made me a better person working under pressure. And then I guess I took everything I learned and then moved that across. I even, use that now. And I think that's why now I'm also not a Movi operator, but I am good at being a cameraman, a one-man band as well. I know many DPs now, they'll be like, oh no, I need my second and my first with me at all times. Like, I'm like, cool, I'll pull my own focus on the Movi whilst I'm carrying this and that. Like, I don't mind doing that, but I think that's just the way I was brought up in my industry. So I'm actually got my Instagram here just so I can kind of see what work I've done. I've got the time path over here. But if you've got another question, or do you want me to continue with my?
Yeah, I mean, carry on until you kind of get to sort of
to present time. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think so.
So after shooting the wedding scene, I decided that I didn't. It's good. One good thing about the areas that I've been filming in my life is that I have jumped into that situation and then took it upon myself to decide, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I want to be in the wedding scene? Do I want to be in the corporate scene? Do I want to be in the music industry, event world, but the content, etc. So I've had and sports as well. I've had my hands in so many parts. I've done car stuff as well. I've done a lot of live sessions, a lot of like music live sessions in the past 2 years, which are fun, but then it just gets a bit monotonous. There's only so much you can do. So so I guess I'm really happy that I've just managed to get my hands into different parts and be in just different situations. But so just to rewind, so after working in the wedding scene and working at Apple, my parents were going to move down south. So I said, cool, I think I should probably just leave Leicester and go over to London, because London's probably the next best place to go to find this media career of mine. I keep calling it media, but like this filmmaking career.
Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice there.
I know, right?
And okay, so can I just quickly jump in?
Yeah, do it.
Was that kind of when you decided you're gonna, well, when the decision was, when you first sort of decided you want to potentially move to London, were you worried that you've built up all these clients in Leicester now and you're gonna have to move to London and basically start again?
Yeah, I think I was so young that I didn't even have clients, I didn't. It was just like for weddings, just the one, and then for the clubs and things like that I was filming, I wasn't too fussed, because they were just small bars and clubs. It was monotonous work that I was doing every other weekend, and there's only so many times you can go to the same club and shoot it again. It would just be recurring, regurgitating these promos, and they'll come up with these different names, which I wasn't developing. Do you know what I mean? I was just like hitting the ceiling. So I was actually super happy I was very happy to start my new life in London, and whatever that would be. But I actually got a transfer to have a stepping stone. I used Apple as a stepping stone. So I moved from Apple in Leicester and I moved to the Apple in Covent Garden, and I was a specialist there. And I lived with my great aunt in West London. And whilst I was there at Apple Covent Garden, which is where I met Izzy, my girlfriend, shout out to Izzy.
She listening?
I think she's listening, yeah.
Nice.
So whilst I was working at Apple in Covent Garden, I was looking for a job in the media industry, and I still didn't even know. I didn't even know there was I knew there was freelancers out there, but I still didn't know how to get my hands in there. I think the only way my parents knew, my parents were they're not in this industry. So they were like BBC, Channel 4, television. They literally got television. They were like, that's where the money is. I'm just like, I don't know. And I had a contact at, where did I have a contact? It was at Kiss FM, and they were looking for a media producer. So they're looking for what we're still doing. It was such a broad role. Long story short, I applied for the job, didn't get it. And then, I'm joking.
Good. It took me a minute to figure out. I was like, why is he pointing at me? Man, I just any little cough, I'm just like, oh no.
And then whilst I was working at Covent Garden, I kept on looking for jobs, looking for BBC jobs. I actually went for a few interviews, tried to waffle my way into the job roles, even if it was assistants, and didn't get it. I was like, oh, damn it, this is pretty hard. And then my dad actually found the job on this, because he would get notifications of video producer job roles into his phone and forward them to me. And he found one at Defected Records, who is a record label, house label for those who don't know. They've got a huge catalogue of music that's been going on for years. And they were looking for an in-house video producer, which is not producing in terms of the producer nowadays. I'd have to produce the content. I would have to be the in-house video guy and shoot all of their video. A video creator would shoot all of their content. So anytime they have new DJs, new parties, new records, I would have to edit a lot. I would have to edit a lot of motion graphics as well. And I applied 3 times and never got an email. or a phone call. And I was like, damn, that's really annoying. And then one of my friends was like, try it one more time. I was like, okay. So I emailed again. And then the next day I got an email. They were like, can you come in and see us tomorrow? I was like, yes. At the time, I also just, I had the FS700 there. So I managed to invest into this, use the money I earned to Apple. And I bought the FS700 with the Sigma 80-35, which I bought from like Very.com, where you pay like £10 a month or something like that. Yeah, like I would just try and like just mash this little rig together, because I knew that would be the best camera that would last me a long time and would have all the features that I need: XLR, slow-mo, 24 frames, ability to maybe shoot a higher 4K codec in the future, and it did through the Odyssey. The most horrible ergonomics, because it has like
such a weird.
The screen was on the back, but I would never. Again, even then, since I've always had a camera in my hand, because I came from the DSLR age, which was shooting, even putting the EVF to your eye and shooting like this or shooting like that. I'm a shoot from the hip kind of guy. Like I've always been. So I would, when I had the FS700, it was perfect. Put my hand on the side, monitors here, clench it towards my belly, and do the little ninja walk, left and right wobble. So I applied for that. For the job, and the next day he rang me, and then they said, can you do they showed me I showed them my work. They're like, great, can you do a test video, like a test shoot? And they had like upcoming night, a Ministry of Sound. They had a party which I had to shoot and then do a recap highlights video for them. So I like took all for the FS700, did everything, shot the little video, put it together. And they actually had another guy shooting one of their parties in Amsterdam, like which we were kind of like battling. Video for video, which video is better? And your boy Stephan Knight won. Yes. I got.
So that battle was for who would
for the job role. Yeah.
And were you being paid, or was this all just
totally free?
Just like you got to do it.
Totally free. This is like but in many jobs at the moment, like one of my old flatmates, he got a job at an agency, and they had to do like it's like homework basically, and they like put this together. So I got the job and I was their in-house video guy. But the thing about working at Defected is that at the time they also owned like a Panasonic GH3 with loads of micro four third lenses, like all the Voigtlanders f 0.95, which are insane.
Well, you kind of need something like that, because isn't a GH3 like a micro four third sensor?
Yes, you need that light. You need that light, yeah. But then like I said, I had all that kit, so then I just brought all that kit to Defected essentially, and that's when the drone revolution also happened, which is when I bought the first DJI Phantom 2, I think at the time, not the one, with the Zenmuse gimbal, and put like a GoPro Hero 2 or 3, and the thing is, when I work in the Defected was amazing, but I would reinvest my salary into myself and into Defected, if that makes sense, because I wanted every video that I would put out wanted to be better and level it up, which I didn't mind, because I knew once I leave it'll be mine anyway. So like that made me happy. I know that's not probably what I should have done. Like people are like, that's stupid, like this, but I'm like, it's cool. Like I genuinely didn't mind, because I was so passionate and so pumped to just keep making great content for them and for me, because at the end of the day, this all
your name's on it, right?
My name's on it, yeah. So the great thing about working at the Defected, I got to travel to many places around the world. One of them being Ibiza, which is where I'm from. So like I would get paid, like I was like pinching myself, because like I was getting paid to film people partying, listening to amazing music, hanging out with great people, getting to fly, get paid for it, go and see my family in Ibiza, where I'm getting paid to work as well, but get to stay with them as well, and then come back to another great job. So yeah, like it was one of the best things. But I was a one-man band. I was the cameraman, the editor, the motion graphics, the audio design, After Effects. I would have to prep everything myself. Obviously, I've got to prep it myself. Like I don't know, I did it. I did it all, and I guess I used all those skills that I learned when I was at uni, when I did film weddings, when I did the corporate films, when I did all these parties. I used all that, you know, at this working at Defected. But I did that. I worked at Defected for 18 months because I also hit another ceiling where all the major music videos were being shot by Warner, Universal, like the big dogs, and I would just do like medium, small. Or there's only so much I can do. There's only so much you can do on your own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. But I could, you know, but I was like, no, I'm sure I can do it. But no, you can't. And I still, even then, I didn't know what a gaffer was. When I worked at Defected, I didn't know about gaffering and grips and all that. I was still in this whole like one-man band mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, I was still super passionate about, you know, about filmmaking, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, I'm just looking at some of I had these 3 bags here that I used to fly with 4 cameras, a drone, and the amount of crap.
Wait, what is
on my Instagram?
Is your Instagram open on your same computer you're doing this chat on?
Yeah, it's on the same screen.
Do a screen share so people can see what you're.
You've disabled me, Famalam.
Oh, my bad. So, you know, some people, they can't be trusted. Hold tight 1 second. Here we go. You should be able to do it now.
Share screen.
You got it?
So if I do Google Chrome, bang. Oh, you know what? Oh, it's fine. I was going to say I could actually airplay my phone, but I could do this. Share.
Let's have a look. Oh, this is dope. See, this is super cool.
Okay, so this is a cool way. I'd rather like tell you about my life like this because this is literally Instagram is my like it is like a little glimpse of what I've done in my whole lifetime, and I can tell you little stories. So this is the little room I used to live in with my great aunt. There's all my. If I zoom in, can you see it? Can you see me doing this?
No,
you can't.
No,
right. Don't worry about it. But anyway,
it's still quite easy to see.
But like, if I do mouse, you can see this. Can you see my mouse moving now?
Yeah, I can see the mouse.
So, all my messy clothes over here. This is the DJI Phantom 2 that I used to fly with the gimbal, and then I used to have the FS700 here. Let me see if I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lenses and my grip bag. So I used to fly with all this on my own. Then there's a slide. Is that a slider? Canova slider there, and a tripod just over there. Let's see what else we've got.
And sorry to just jump in.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I've done. I mean, it was rare that I had that much kit, but I have done a few jobs like that back in the day where I had quite a fucking hell when I had a fair bit of kit. And I always, maybe it's just me being salty, but I always was just like, man, this is not one person's job. Like, I'm being mugged off here. Do you?
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't.
Like, this is dope. Like, I love this. This is what I want to be doing.
Yes, I was exactly like that. Okay. I was the latter. I don't know if that was the geeky like Stephan that worked at Apple that liked to customize all their things and have his own little system. I am OCD. Yeah, you know, this is me doing this was a slider with a 2-camera interview that I had to do, and I had to operate both of them, put one in the slider and do audio, like lav mic audio for 2 people, like on my own. And I know, but then I remember the shoot. This was in Ibiza, and it was a hard shoot. It was really hard and very stressful for me. But I was like, I'm sure it's like that for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, there are people that's their thing and they're fine.
Yeah, but I was that stupid and that foolish, like to think that, like, but I still really enjoyed it, and I was still really passionate. I was still, I don't know. I was just like in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I take it, but I did think sometimes like, man, surely not. But like, I could have done this with one camera. I definitely should have done it with one camera, but I always wanted to step up the level of each video, even to the point where I'd risk things, going really wrong.
Yeah.
Like in this case, I remember that small Sony NEX5N, it overheated in this interview in the second angle. That was a close-up, and it overheated. And I was like, oh shit. So that's the close-up gone. So I only got the wides, and then I'd panic. Do you know what I mean? Oh, can we stop the interview? And like, the guy's like, I've only got, I ain't got time. So, but those are the mistakes that I made during my career that I learned from. And then I just try and evolve them and not do them again. And, at that time, I did this interview in Ibiza, and I know that they would never hire another camera operator. Since I was working there was only one other festival that I did that they hired another camera operator for me that because I said I needed extra hand because it's just too many things they want me to capture, which is great. But yeah, this is me. What's this? This is a video, from flying into the Ibiza, beautiful island of Ibiza. There's me at a festival. What else do I have?
So how many years were you doing the shooting festivals for?
Well, it's funny because after I left Defected, which was festival, club night, DJ, I then left to go freelance to find my way into the industry and work for branded content, commercials, music videos, whatever people would throw at me. But I ended up, as my body of work was majority made out of festival scene, there would be loads of production companies such as Clockwise Films from Brighton, also here in London, or Bristol, sorry, who would shoot other festivals such as Boomtown. Then the guys over at Deadbeat, they do Deadbeat Festival. They do. They've done Lovebox. God, I can't think right now. Oh God, they've done Field Day, Lovebox, Wilderness, all those other festivals, and my body work was surrounded by festival work. So they were like, great, let's get and the world of Instagram managed to find me. So we're like, great, let's get Stephan on board. So yes, after working in Defected, which was very music and festival orientated, brought me more of that. And I didn't mind it, but only 2 years ago, like even last year, I started doing it. I think last year I did pretty much my last festival. Last year I said, no more festival season for 2020. And then look what's happened.
Well, yeah, I feel like now everyone's just going to take what they can get.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but like even when this whole thing blows over, hopefully, and in next year, the whole music scene kicks up again. I'm sure this whole event industry is going to be insane. I'm going to get asked to do it again, and I'm probably going to say yes if I need the money then. But it's not what at the moment brings me joy, because you don't have control, which is good and bad. Is what I used to enjoy, not having control filming in a festival, because I used to be able to film these like amazing candid moments of couples interacting, of like these like men just like feeling euphoria in the dance floor or whatever, like, but still in a very cinematic way. But you can only get once. Do you know what I mean? From a specific angle in a specific way. So like, but some people are like, oh my God, that'll be my worst nightmare. I'll be like, getting pushed around with people. Like, dude, I've been surrounded by like thousands of people, sweaty people, and I'm there with my gear trying to make this this stage look like it's being shot by 5 cameras. So I'm carrying my bag with my think tank bag with a 70-2, a 11-16, a 20. I'm at 2 other primes, and then to bump around, bam, 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 go on stage, then on the pit, then in front of house, then from the crowd's perspective, then get. Then I brought a jib once. I brought a jib once to create like a pocket jib. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying anything to elevate the production value. This is what I'm sorry, I'm going back to Defected.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, sorry, but that's that. Sorry.
No, it's cool. That's cool. So have you got anything else you want to?
Yeah, well, after that, I've asked for it. So after that, so this is all still the Defected world. So there's me with a Ronin. Can you still see the annotation? Let me see. Annotate. Mouse. Here we go. So
you can see the mouse flicking around. Yeah.
There you go. So that's me with the Ronin S and the A7S inverted. That's me. Well, there you go. This is the FS700. That's how I used to shoot most of the time.
So I guess you must have probably got to the point where you knew, like at each one you went, you'd probably done so many that you knew, like, you don't even need a shot list. You just got like
zero shot list. Like, okay, zero shot list.
Shot. We need the reaction shot. We need the fucking smoke cannon going on.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and I knew the set. I knew pretty much the sets, the DJ sets as well. And like some of the event organizers, they were like, I'd communicate with the guys who do all the CO2s, the FX team basically. They're like, in the next 3 tracks we're gonna do CO2 calendar is going to be fire, so like make sure you're in the right position. So I'm like, cool, set timer on my phone, like Siri, hey Siri, set timer 3 minutes. So then it buzzes. So I got 3 minutes to get the shots, and then make sure I can go to the specific spot to get the right angle. Make sure I've got batteries. Make sure I've got. And I used to use N trigger on the FS 100 for shooting all the slow motion stuff.
Such a good feature.
Yeah. All-star trigger, both of them. But yeah. And yeah, man, it was awesome. Like I wouldn't change anything from it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like condensing it all, but if you want to go into specifics, there's so many things that I did at that job that just made me a better cameraman. There's a lot of communication as well. There's so much multitasking. In that job, and I'm sure there's so many, like, I'm going to call them kids, but I've become too old now. Like I'm nearly turned 30 now. Like that's not my world anymore. There's like these like 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 24-year-olds just like smashing, doing all these club videos and festival videos, and they're coming up with amazing content that that I can't do any of, just because it's their world. They've got more energy now, and like that's not my path anymore. Which is totally fine. But yeah, let's just rewind. So sorry. So if we come back to the Instagram, if it's still up there, this is after I left Affected. So I bumped into a director called Ed Coleman, who used to work, who is a documentary, and is also a TV director. Most recently I did a TV documentary. I was part of the crew for Slipknot's documentary, which is on BBC iPlayer. So I was one of the cameramen for that, and I bumped into him in Ibiza, and long story short, he was also shooting in Ibiza for another night, like actually a club night, but he's way older. He's I think 10, 12 years older than me. But he was there at the time, and he basically said, we shared some footage because we were working in the same club, and he's like, are you freelance? I said, no. He's like, well, you should probably go freelance if you've got all this kit and you can edit, like there's way more out there for you. And as soon as he said that, something clicked. And I was just like, okay. And like, I literally just like, pretty much like 2 months later, I just like handed in my notice at Defective. So I still, like I said, I felt like there was a bit of a roof in my development there. And all the kit was mine. So I was like, what's the worst that can happen? I can edit, I can shoot, I've got the gear. I'm happy, I'm like a sponge. I want to learn new things. Boom, let's do it. And I just moved out. It's funny, I just moved out. I had a great salary, and I was just like, no, like, fuck it all, let's just do it. So I said, my mentality was like, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is I don't get work, my name goes nowhere, and then I just have to get another video producer job role at another label or another company, and I will be able to get it. Because because I knew what I'm worth. If that makes sense, what I would be worth. Sure. And like you said, if you go back to the Insta, here is just me at Snowbombing Festival.
So when you went freelance, what was the first? How were you finding work? Because
it was through word of mouth. It was through. So if we go over to here, as like I said, as my work at the time was still event related, I then contacted people such as the guys over at Clockwise Media, who I love their work that they put out, and they did a lot of. Have you ever Resident Advisor?
Mm-hmm.
So they would put out all the mini films that Resident Advisor would put out, and they would produce those. So I was like, I want to work on those films. I want to be part of that team. And then that relation, and then I got an email. I sent like a cold email. Cold call? Yeah, cold call email, and then met up. I called in sick. I defected. I'm sorry to my boss. I said that it's into. I called in sick, and I went straight to a meeting with him. And I said to him, this is what I'm looking to do. And he didn't have any jobs for me. He was just like, it's great that we've had this conversation. Any new content, any new videos that you're doing, after you leave, send me the link so we can keep you fresh in our mind, essentially. And since then, even till now, 4 years later, I did a Tommy Hilfiger show for them, fashion show for them recently. And they're still giving me work. Our relationship has been amazing. So that was so from the back of that. So that's one production company that gave me work. And then from the back of that, there was other, they worked with a sister company called Verso Films, and there was a guy there called Louis. So he's a director. He then was like, Steph, I need a cameraman, I need a gimbal operator. And then it literally just snowballed. And then I think Instagram really helped as well. One of my good friends, Thomas Bone, who used to live in Leicester, where I met in Leicester, he moved to London, used to work for MTV, so he'll get me into some of the MTV jobs. And then I bumped into a director called Josh Cohen, because he used to also film the club scene up in Manchester. Now he's an amazing director. Doesn't film in the industry. He works in the industry as a great sorry, kind of waffled then. He's a director that works in commercials. I think he's signed now. Be able to put his name in the show notes. He's like, yeah, he's a great guy. He also filmed in the music industry, so then I think we had that that relationship. So then our relationship built up with that. Dude, it was just like, it was all word of mouth. But that Ed Coleman, like, big ups to him, big shout out to him, because he was the reason why I left Defected and went to this world. And he also like kind of took me under his wing with that, doing that, if that makes sense. The first job he got me on was filming Coldplay as a Movi operator on St. John's Church in Hackney for the BBC. And that was when I was like, oh my, there was like proper camera operators, which were TV camera operators, but they were still great camera operators. And I met Bud Gallimore, who had the Armour Man at the time, the Armour Man by Tilter. No, dude, he swears by it.
Inside the rig, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that just wigs me out.
He swears by it, and even to this day, he still swears by it. And then before I bought the Ready Rig, I was like, dude, like, Ready Rig or Armour Man? He's like, mate, Armour Man all day. And I didn't listen to him because I tried the Armour Man. I did something about it. My gut feeling was like, try the Ready Rig. And once I got the Ready Rig, so if we're back on my website, there you go. Once I got the Ready Rig, I never looked back. I used that till this day. So this was 2016. So yeah, 4 years. 4 years I've been using the Ready Rig for the same one. And then my work just developed. I got involved in the music industry and did a lot of live sessions. Worked for MTV. I've done stuff for Universal. This is like what was this? This was like a document in a lab doing a documentary for a director called Craig Heathcote. So I did loads of little projects with directors where it was like one-man band situations. This is me in Dubai. Oh God, can you hear the sound through there or not?
Give it a go.
Let's hope not, because it comes to my headphones.
Oh, no,
just
we can't hear it.
In a convertible.
Man.
Super
safe.
So super safe, ghetto shooting. So this is some sport video I did. There's some stuff for Bentley, or Rolls Royce, I think. This was.
Look at that beard.
Yeah, man's had a beard then. I went to Marshall, which is where they built airplanes, and did some stuff there. I've done some funny gigs, some odd stuff. Then I bumped into the guys over at Dozed Films, another great group of guys, production company based in Bermondsey. And then at the same time, I've been doing some more personal projects. So I did this project called Oh My Gosh, It's Bald. It was a documentary about women who shave their heads, and then they shouldn't be embarrassed of it. They should embrace it. So that's on my Vimeo. It's one of a short film that I made where I shot and edited it. And my girlfriend was the creative director, and
I didn't know that was a passion project, because I've seen that.
It wasn't my passion project. It was Shah, the girl who's in this video just there. It was her passion project, but she needed someone to shoot. And as soon as she told me the story, I was like, this is great, let's do it. And I shot that on the FS700 and the gimbal, and that's on my website, as you can see that. And that was a lot of fun. And that's when I actually I shot that on the FS700 or the FS5, I think it was, but with the Odyssey. So that's when I'd be able to unlock the camera, the quality that came out of it, get that ProRes 422.
Get the raw.
It takes the raw out and then converts it into down-reses it to ProRes. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? I don't get not DNG. I would never do DNG raw. That was ridiculous.
Too much. I shot a feature like that.
Oh no, that's too much. No, that was my setup there, if you can see that.
Yeah, man. I had that rig. I still have an Odyssey. I had that build, man. I dig that rig, man.
Dude, that brought me so much money, so much work. The quality out of that was just amazing.
Dope, man. Yeah, I've cut like
dude, it's
Bcam FS5 with that 7Q plus combo. I've cut that with Alexa stuff, and it's like, it's hard to tell.
If anyone was saying to me, what camera should I go for now, especially talking kit, like so many DMs, what camera should I go for? I say this combo
for sure
is amazing. Even though, yes, you need to think about different powering the monitor as well as the camera, but like I found like the BPU or Hawkwoods do these batteries now with DTAP. And so actually, no, if you go on Amazon, there's so many people who do these batteries now with DTAP. But back then, only Hawkwoods did, and they were so pricey. But now they're way more affordable. Get a DTAP out, plug it into there, take the plate off, the Odyssey off, keeps it nice and light. And then you've got a camera, you know, an E-mount camera with the EF mount. So you can put an E-mount, that you can put an adapter on there. You can put a PL lens on there. XLR, like... Dude, yeah, and then you can shoot internally if you want as well. So you got your proxies, you got a codec that is editing friendly. There you go. There's that again. Like, dude, this setup was amazing.
Yeah, I fuck with it, man.
And then I was shooting so much with the Sony that I did like a webinar for Sony. Here it is for Sony Pro, Sony Europe. I did like a little TV show.
Well, let's actually, that's a good time to kind of transition, because we've done about 45 minutes.
I know, kind of. Sorry.
No, that's cool. I should have jumped in and maybe directed it a little bit quicker, but that's a good spot. So for people that don't already know, Steph has like a bit of definitely has a YouTube, an Instagram kind of presence, and you do a lot of like kit reviews and kind of share your opinions on lighting and just kit that you use. So then how did this Sony thing come about?
How did the Sony thing come about? Oh, dude, how did it come about?
Because you're like, were they calling you an ambassador or something?
Yeah, I think I took. Oh, where is it? I think I took this one picture of the camera. I did a job for MTV, and I took the. Okay, I remember doing a job for MTV. It was this one. So I took this picture, and I think Sony commented somewhere, or they DM'd me saying, no, I think they DM'd me. They were like, or they emailed me, sorry. They were like, can we use this picture as a part of like a presentation for like, I don't know what. I was like, yeah, sure, take it. Like, it's all good. And then like a few months later, I think that's, I'm trying to think if that was the way, but either way, I got an email and they said, oh no, okay, I remember now. One of my friends who's also a filmmaker, he was directing this TV show for Sony, and he said, can you be involved? But I don't want you to be behind the camera. I want you to be in front of the camera. So I was like, oh, really? And that was like, my heart was thumping. I was like, so nervous. I was like, what? And I had to talk about the new FS. What did I have to talk about? You know what? What were we talking about? Yeah, talk about the FS5 and how, because it just came out, and just talk about the benefits of the FS5 and how I attach it with different monitors. Yeah, things like that. And I did this show alongside Toby Lockerbie, who's another DP, does a lot of wildlife work, I believe. Let's see if it's in there. Yeah, he makes documentaries as well. He got nominated for a MOBO, which is awesome. So me and him sat down for and the whole day just talking about the Sony cameras basically, and the benefits of S-Log and things like that. And I guess that was one of the times I was behind the camera. I went to Pinewood Studios, which was awesome.
So then where did because you've got your YouTube videos and your YouTube channel, which is kind of slowly building. So was that kind of off the back of?
No, that was off the back. So the reason I did my first ever YouTube video was off the back of this right here, the PD Movi remote live air, which was a follow focusing system that no one knew about then. There was no videos on YouTube about it. And this is the tool that allows me to control my focus. You know, back then in 2017, it allowed me to control my focus of my lenses whilst on the move, if it's handheld or on the gimbal or on sticks, by using two cables, DTAP and this control cable and this motor. And I guess that relieved me from not having to have an AC, which saved budget, and then loads of directors use that to an advantage. And I was like, and then which was really good and bad, because then I didn't know about this whole AC thing. So then my director was like, oh yeah, look, we'll get the cooks, and then, you know, you don't need any help, right? You can just pull yourself on the gimbal. I'm like, yeah, I can pull, like, and I'll be like, yeah, I can do it. And then they were like, can you like go on your tiptoes, jump around, close your eyes, and then pull focus and wide open at the same time? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do it. Obviously not, but like basically what I'm trying to say is that they took advantage of me being able to like, they said budget, I pulled my own focus, and it did get harder and harder, specifically with like, full frame and stuff like that. But just to rewind, this PD move, that PD movie live air, which oh God, I lost it again. I thought just to make a YouTube video talking about how to use it, I just thought this is a product that loads of people benefit from. So let's do a YouTube video about it, basically. And it took me all day, dude. I was so nervous talking in front of camera. Like so nervous, man. Even now, even
audio, I struggle with.
Even now, I think because I've got the problem of like, I think if I was talking to you, it'd be fine, but because I have to talk down a lens, I don't know how these YouTubers do it. I think either you have it or you don't. Like, and I don't, but I'm still trying. Like, wow. And that's the reason why my YouTube videos just stopped, because I was just like, I think there was so many YouTube being pumped, so many people just making content about things that I wanted to talk about, but I was like, no one wants to know. Like, it's already up there, so like, why would they want to get my opinion? So I'm trying to find other things that people would find interesting. But then there's that fine gap between being a filmmaker, being a videographer, being a DP, and now that this whole Corona thing's happened, there's actually a lot of people in the industry, gaffers, sparks, that are actually getting involved in the internet. Do you know what I mean? With Instagram story, with lives, with YouTube videos. And now there's hundreds of amazing accounts, filmmakers' YouTube accounts, which talk about the most professional things, like even Film Riot, which was the guy there started years ago, and he started talking about the 7D now, or like 5D world or whatever. Now he's shooting with, Alexas and all this, and it's like proper, the way he talks is like proper film talk. Do you know what I mean? So you can see how he developed as well as I developed, and all of us developed. But yeah, so cheeky little plug, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube account, where you'll get BTS gear reviews
yeah, man,
and filmmaking behind the scenes. Follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Stephan Knight.
Okay, how do you get the you have to have, there's like criteria, right, to get an actual like your own personal URL? Because I'm stuck with like a bunch of letters and numbers at the end. I can't.
No, I think I'm not sure. I think if you just do youtube.com/Stephan Knight, I'm on 1,000 subscribers, which I needed 1,000 subs to monetize my videos, but I actually can't monetize my videos because I need around like 40,000 views in a year or something like that. So I need to make more videos, and I've actually got like 3 videos lined up that I want to talk about, and there's specific things that people don't have, which I know it won't get a lot of views, but it's still a tool that I think Movi operators and gimbal operators will want to know. Even you might want to know as well.
I mean, that's the thing. You have to, if you've got a niche, it doesn't really matter. You don't need like a huge audience. You just need a like an engaged audience.
Yeah, I even did like a blog in like Dubai.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So I did this job for Versace it was a corporate video in Dubai, and I did a 3-part BTS. So I put these 2 little cameras, and I'll talk to camera, and then showing me building the cameras, and I'll cut the actual shots. I rigged like the GoPro to my ready rig, and I'll then film me doing the shot, and I'll cut the actual shot, slice it in the middle and things like that. Those videos are still in my YouTube account, and I really enjoy doing these BTS, but it takes, it takes a lot. And also you can't do that in proper client world shoes. Do you know what I mean? There's like, you can't be like, let me just focus that. No, that's why a lot of people now actually, to get BTS clips, they're using those 360 cameras, and they're just rigging it to like their handheld camera, where they can then in post, just edit it wherever they want, which I think I'm going to jump into that world, because it's just, it's I think that's the best, because a lot of people are messaging me like, I want to see more BTS of you on set, and like how you do your thing. And I'm like, it's so hard. You've got client expectations, you've got your job role. I got to focus, man. I can't be focusing on just like talking to a camera and vlogging what I'm doing on set. If it's my passion project, then I can do that. I'll do a proper BTS. But if it's, if it's a client job, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But in terms of my social media presence, I do love. But sorry, so the way I kind of like fix that is by my Instagram by just taking stills. Anytime I am on a shoot, I try and take one cool still of me on set. If it's with me on kit, it's just so I remember what job that was, or some stills. You know, this is me and Liam at Festival Number 6. This is when I did a shoot for, the art cruise. So I went on this cruise ship for like a week. And this is just that, you know, my Instagram is like a visual portfolio of my life and all the jobs that I've been doing throughout my lifetime. And then I kind of go back to just to like, especially at these times right now, after what's happened, I took it for granted, all the flying. You know, I've been to the Dominican, I've been to the US, you know, I've traveled a lot, and like, I literally took it for granted. And, you know, I just read an article about like how it's going to be so hard to fly now. There's going to be so many restrictions. It's going to take 4 hours for you to do a flight to like Spain. Do you know what I mean? You have to get to the airport 4 hours early because of, you know, all the restrictions that they're going to add. So it's just like, yeah, I'm mad grateful that I got to experience all that. But like, now I wish I could go back and like really appreciate the moment, Steph, because something's about to happen.
They're a long way away now.
Yeah, that's it. Look, this is me, Anthony. I did a job for Beats by Dre with Anthony Joshua. He was like, "How heavy is that rig, bro?"
Probably not heavy to him, is it?
No, heavy to him. But yeah, we went on this helicopter after he won his Cardiff fight. So this was like a one-man band job where I really had one chance to get some shots of him in the plane, in the helicopter flying back to London wearing these like new Beats, and he had to say like a specific line, but it was just like me, him, his like entourage, no director. We had to, the day before, we had to jerry rig microphones and like bash some like LED panels when we took the helicopter back to Cardiff. So like, again, a lot of one-man band stuff, but there's directors that, or director producers that are like, oh, I know Steph would be good for this job because he's come from this one-man band kind of world, and I'm kind of proud of it. Like, I don't mind because that means there's some other people that be like, yo, I am not doing that. Like, you're like pulling my leg. Maybe they are pulling my leg for doing this job, but I found that like you can't say no to Anthony Joshua going in a helicopter and Beats by Dre. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I guess you just assess it like,
yeah, exactly,
on a job by job basis. I'm sure
100%
asked to do that same thing 3 times for the same money, eventually you would be like, fuck off. Like, I do it once, you go,
yeah. Oh,
I don't know if you see that. Lily.
Is that Lil?
My dog is just.
Is that Lily?
Should I get her up?
Yeah, get her up.
Oh, she's too fat for me to lift her.
Get the little cutie up. Oh, Lily! Lily, you little girl.
Sabotage the live screen.
There we go. I think we've gone over the time, but
we have.
We've not even finished my whole life. But anyway, dude.
Oh, have we?
No, but it's all good. But even and then now I'm finally putting frames up there of things I've shot. Less kit, more frames.
Less kit, more frames. Well, okay.
I've been doing a lot of fashion work a lot. I think my career has moved over towards the fashion world as well, which I really enjoy as well, which is actually quite hard because you don't have a lot of control.
When you say fashion, is that commercials? What is that?
Yeah, fashion, commercials, I'm doing a bit of event branded content as well. Like if you go on my website, you'll see some, mate, it's like the world nowadays. All I do is like Instagram videos, you know, shoot 916.
Yeah.
This was one of my biggest jobs I did for Miu Miu, which is Prada's sister company over in America, where I was the B-cam and Movi operator alongside the DP, but I had to organize all of the film crew as well. So like, I had to organize the first AC, second. So I kind of like took over. I don't know if that's even a role. I basically just organized all of the crew, and I had to put the kit list together as well. So I was kind of like the A-cam as well. I don't know, but it was an amazing opportunity to like speak to an American crew and use the amazing network of filmmakers on Facebook, man. Like I managed to speak to a Movi operator called Justin Brown, who had every single tool I needed. We got and then another AC, which, oh God, what was his name? Oh God, anyway, the AC, great guy, and he managed to get everything I needed. Obviously, it's America. But everything I needed to go to Montana, and he like prepped it all for me. And we did this amazing job with Justin Bieber's wife, Hailey Baldwin. First time I worked on the what was it, on the black arm, being able to control, using the remote, using the Movi as a remote head. It was like a 3-day shoot, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah, there it is. So that's with Toby Nutt, the DP, an amazing DP here. We shot that on the Alexa. We went on this like you see that quad bike not quad bikes, a quad car, I guess. And we just the grips managed to like rig the Movi on there. So that's kind of the world I actually really enjoy as well. Like, doing some remote head stuff. I think I'm trying to learn the wheels as well. I'm looking to put together a little build where I can do more remote stuff, because I think that's where the world, especially now with what's happening, the cameraman has to be quite separated from what we need to film. So
the more the better.
So yeah, man, I'm just like taking this job as it comes. Obviously at the moment jobs are not coming in, but I'm still staying happy, staying faithful, and just trying to learn, and trying to collaborate and speak to people like you guys, and trying to stay sane. But I'm also trying to learn lighting, or like not perfect my lighting, just try and develop my lighting skills by doing these, like I'm doing product still shoots here in my flat with my girlfriend, and I get to play with flagging and different diffusing materials, and just like playing with angles and things like that. The simple things, but like I haven't got a client. Well, we do have a client, but we're just in our flat doing it ourselves. So
yeah, you've got no one over your shoulder.
Exactly.
You can learn things a lot easier when you can do it at your own pace. Like there is a lot to be said for learning on the job.
Yeah.
And like learning on the fly, but being able to spend 3 or 4 hours lighting a fucking dry shampoo bottle. I mean, whatever it is, you can take in so much more like that.
Yeah. But I'm also taking up other things like DJing. I'm so passionate about music. Going back to like I've been filming so many festivals. You've heard me say club festival all the time. Like I used to live in Ibiza. I'm so passionate about music. That's one of my other second passions. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start DJing and doing some mixes out there. And I'm doing it. I don't know if you can see the little deck setup back there. And
well, you still got your screen share. If you put it back to normal.
Okay. How do I do that? Oh, actually, well, I can actually show you over here. There's me DJing on the screen share, because I actually promoted I did a YouTube live stream. I DJed for 5 hours to donate some money for Crisis to help the homeless. This is when 6 weeks ago when the first thing, the lockdown happened. So that's the way I kept sane, and put the camera down, and I just started playing music because it makes me happy, and I'm sure it makes everyone else happy. So how do I stop this screen share? Stop share. Boom.
There we go. He's back. Well, okay, because I think what I'm going to do, because this is kind of run at a slightly different pace than I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at some stream warning I'm getting here. I think, right, so because we want to do a Q&A, but also I think what I'd like to do, and it depends if you'd be up for it, is we could do another one of these, but where we talk more about kit and more technical stuff. Because
definitely.
A lot of your
story has been on this one, isn't it?
Which is fine, but I think I'm assuming your audience, and I know people that listen to the show would actually like to hear a lot more kind of kit and
I love to talk
stuff.
I would love to talk kit.
So maybe we could do another episode, which would be like a part 2 where we just talk about that stuff, and you can go into detail, and we can talk about just like Movi up stuff and the technical side of that, and how you work with DPs and things like that. I think that would be cool, because I don't really want to just like try and shoehorn it into the end of this. I'd rather like wrap this up with a Q&A if there's any questions. I know there's one, and then we could do another one maybe next week or in a couple of days. Where we almost just pick up where we left off, and I can cut these both together.
Yeah, that's cool with me, mate. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so many things I kind of want to talk to you about.
I just kind of waffled on. I'm so sorry.
It's cool. I mean, no, don't be sorry. It's still interesting, and I love to hear people's stories, because everyone has a different route.
I hear you.
Everyone, and yours is cool because it's like, it seems like it's this constant like it goes up and then flat and then up
literally
in what you do. Do you know what I mean? You get to this
yeah
step and you get really good at that and you want to do that, and then you're like, okay, this is cool, but I need to go a bit further and into something else. So then you kind of step up a bit and you go and get really good at that, and it's just like up and up and up, which I think is cool.
But then it's only the beginning, man. Like I keep
exactly
like I said to you, like I've only been doing freelancing 4 tax years. That's nothing.
Yeah,
that's baby. I'm still a bubba. So like, and it's just so I'm very happy. I'm super proud of myself that I'm in this job position and I've got to where I am, and it's just the beginning. And yeah, so like I just don't need to just like everyone wants everything now. Everyone wants like success so quick. It's like take each day as it comes. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah. So I don't want to give out words of wisdom, but like just
get good at being patient.
Yeah, get good at being patient. Yeah. There's no better time than now as well.
Yeah.
I need to say that to myself as well when it comes to like these YouTube videos. I didn't post a YouTube video for like a year because I was embarrassed because I was like focused on my job. And then people like YouTube's for kids. Like YouTube's for, do you know what I mean? Like all that, these videographers.
Yeah.
Like videographer. Are you a videographer, Stephan? No, I'm a filmmaker.
How dare you?
How dare you? But now I'm just like, you know, fuck everybody. Fuck it. Like actually, yes, I am a videographer. Yes, I'm a Movi operator. Yes, I'm a filmmaker. Yes, I'm a DP or whatever you want to call me. But like, you know, I film cool shit. Like that's my job. I film really cool shit, and I get to work with the great people that then become my friends for forever long. And sorry, I don't know what the point of that sentence was.
No, I think it just sounds like you're kind of just saying that
I'm just riding out life, man. I'm just riding it out. Like I'm just riding out and enjoying. And I'm just really enjoying what I'm doing right now. Because like I always used to say to myself, like, especially when I used to work at the Defected or whatever, I know it's a hard shoot. Even on the set, I'm just a hard shoot. I'm like, yo, there is way worse job.
Oh man,
like there's like you could be. I always say to myself, like Stephan, you could be. I don't want to hate on the people who work at McDonald's. You could be in McDonald's flipping burgers. You could be working in that office with that one boss tapping your shoulder, because I hate when people tap on my shoulder. Like when anyone, I hate that. If they like, you could be in that position and you're not. You've got a free calendar. You've got you're a freelancer. You're lancing. You can do what you want, wherever you want. You're lancing free. So like you can work on whatever you want to work on. Like you've got the choice to do that. Like it's in your hands. And then it kind of clicks, and I'm like, oh yeah, like we're good, man. We're good. Just crack on, step, and do the best job you can do on that day. And just be a nice guy. Don't be a douche. Smile. Even though people say I do have a bit of a resting bitch face sometimes. But that's just
really.
That's just me. Yeah, some people say that, but yeah, just smile. Don't, if people ask for advice, don't be a douchebag. And just be you, man. But yeah, I'm sure I'd love to really dive in deeply into like the specifics and to like, cause that's something that a lot of people do message me all the time. Like, how do I rig my kit? Like, what specific tools do I use and why do I use other ones? I've been an owner of the Ronin 2 and the Movi Pro, so I love to talk about the reason why I sold the Ronin 2 and went for Movi, and then I moved, things like that. Okay. So,
well, I mean, I can do the same tomorrow night. Can you do tomorrow night? Then we can just tell all 5 people that are listening, 7 people that are listening.
All 7 people that are listening.
I'm not putting you on.
You put me on the spot now.
We can do it whenever. We'll figure.
We should definitely do it. I think we should
let people know.
Yeah, definitely. I think let's do it this week.
Yeah,
if anything,
I just don't want to lose that momentum.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, let's have a chat off this.
Yeah, for sure. And let everyone know. Well, before we shut this down, then, because there's a guy in the chat. I don't know if if you can see the chat. A guy, Graham. He asked some questions like straight away. So.
Oh, okay.
But maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Do you want to wait? What am I looking for? What do I enjoy shooting?
He asked a few questions, but maybe you can kind of. I think his last question is kind of cool.
The last question: when you're shooting for clothing brands, how often do you guerrilla shoot on locations around London?
We've all done the guerrilla shoots for sure.
Well, I did one last night, but for fashion shoots.
When you say guerrilla, he means
go without a permit, I presume, right? Yeah. So. The fashion shoot I can think of that most of them, like I've done some for Emirates, and not for Emirates, I'm talking about for Arsenal and Adidas, and we got permit to shoot in the rooftop, but we didn't get permit to shoot in the streets of East London, near London Fields Way. We didn't get permit to shoot in the park. I think if you just keep the crew minimal, I worked with an amazing AC called Zach Rogers, who he's also a geek like me, and he's built his rig in a specific way where he doesn't need a stand. He can just roll with it with his little bag and get the job done. That's what we kind of meshed together perfectly. And just keeping the team pretty small. Sorry, if I go back to his question, so he says, when shooting, for how often do you do that? I don't do that often. It really depends on the locations. A lot of people now try to use, especially who shoot in London, love the brutalist architecture, like Barbican, like there's a place in
Rowley Way.
Yeah, that's it. So there's so many spots. There was a shoot I did with a creative director called Shenna, which was one of my first fashion jobs, and we didn't get permit. We shot it on a Sunday. We went there really early. We hid in like the dustbin area, so then none of the like residents could see us. While we prepped the kit, and we made sure it was a Sunday, so it was quiet. And we got there really early at like 6 a.m. We finished at like midday, so it was like really quick shoot, like sunrise basically. I don't recommend it, but I don't recommend it, but like it's totally up to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that wasn't a paid gig. That was also like a passion project, a fashion job. But for paid jobs with a client and a director and a producer, you should definitely give them the heads up and be like, do we have permits to shoot at these locations? Is there any way we could speak to the council, give them a heads up? Or especially at the Barbican, if you have a tripod or a gimbal, they cameras everywhere. They're like, get out of here. But you can do still. It's funny because then you go on Instagram, you can find many stills of fashion photographers who've gone to the Barbican with models. They're like, and they're like getting some amazing shots, and they use that as part of the portfolio. So I don't do it much often now. I just judge the job as it comes, and I just judge the scenario, and I asked to get paid a bit more for the stress. do you know what I mean?
That's fair. Should we just pick up? I actually missed a question that I think is actually pretty good. We missed it. What skill do you think has benefited you the most in your career? I think that's actually a pretty decent question.
What skill do you think has benefited you the most in my career?
So maybe like something that you learned early on as a filmmaker that you've kind of found has like helped you on.
Well, being very technical minded about and knowing my cameras inside out and what works, what didn't, that really helped me knowing how to get the most of my equipment on the different jobs. So some DPs there's some DPs that don't know all the intricacies of the equipment, and they don't need to know that because they need to focus on their lighting. Totally get that. I came from like filmmaker, videographer. I needed to know everything about what my tool could do. So I learned it inside out. I learned the FS700, how I could push it to its limits. So I think what was this question? So that's what's benefited me in my career. But I think my Instagram account, as stupid as that sounds, has been a factor in the reason why I get a lot of work, because it shows to other people that I am a busy person and I love what I do, and they can see my work and they can see that I do quite a broad spectrum of work. I do my Instagram because it just makes me happy. It just makes me content, and it's a visual representation of what I do, but it's also helped me get a lot of work. So that's a tool that I've used to help me get work without even knowing it. And it's got me in trouble sometimes on set. They're like, put your phone down, you're on Instagram again. I'm like, fuck, I'm so sorry. I can find another one and say, what skill did you think, what another skill has benefited me? working, like I think coming back to what I said earlier, just working in different sectors of the industry, not different roles in the industry, like being an AC, but like just different markets, corporate world, like I said, wedding. It really allowed me to, music event, it really allowed me to narrow down what I like, what I don't like, because everyone wants to live their life doing what they love. So I'm glad I jumped into those scenarios. Yeah, I hope I answered his question. That's just a bit short.
I know, that's good. That was good, man. I think you did good. And he's given one of these on the chat, so you must have did a good job. Let's wrap it up there.
Yeah, wrap it up,
and
man.
let's definitely do a part 2 to this, because like you've just said, there's loads of people that are going to want to hear this technical kit nerdery.
I'm so gutted you've got a red camera, and I've got using this tree, and I've got my iMac. You look so crisp. You look so crisp.
Is, like, I'm looking because because I got this.
Yeah.
Some long ass cable, so I'm just like, it looks crisp, but it's super unforgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my skin is just like
oily
and everything's showing off. I need a big ass beauty right in there.
I forgot my rosé.
Oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
But
I'll get a glass of wine for the next one.
That's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's get the vino out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I hope I answered some of the questions, and I'm so sorry for those who were listening, because I waffled on about my life back and forth and never looking at my Instagram.
It's cool, dude. I like it. I like that, and because we didn't do that at Rick's, and I wish we
Oh man, and Rick, I could have heard that podcast for longer as well. He's an amazing cinematographer. That guy needs way more props. I can't wait for him to come to London. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, man. He's gonna smash it, and so are you, man. And congratulations, man, for undercracking, stand up, and all that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I have to say, it's because on the any referencing I've said to being repped, I just say an agent. I haven't actually said and Kirsten said, she's like, you talk about an agent, but you don't say it. So this, I have to say, it's undercranked.
Hey.
It's not just a person; it's an actual agency.
There you go.
Yeah,
congrats, man.
I didn't shout out the actual company. So yeah,
great guys.
But thanks. All right, I'm gonna cut the stream.
Let's do it.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
And we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Thank you. Ciao. Peace. Now where's the button that I press to end this? Oh, tight.
All right. Keep smiling.
Keep awkwardly smiling.